Chautauqua Industrial Development Agency Board of Directors meeting. We're at the SUNY Fredonia Technology Incubator. Martha, you can take note of that, please, as a SUNY employee. We're at 2014 Central Avenue, Dunkirk, New York. It's February 25th, 2020. It's 10 a.m. and we have quorum. Roll call, please. Mike Metzger is here. Gary Henry. Here. Mark Odell. Here. Brad Walters. Here. Stephen Thorpe. Here. Dennis Rack. Here. Let the record show that there are 6 members in attendance. We have quorum. I'll entertain a motion to approve the January 28th, 2020 minutes that you've already received. Thank you, Rosie.
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mark. Do I have a second? Second. Seconded by Steve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. Okay, now we have a new business, and we'll enter into new business A. But before we do, we'll ask Carol and John to present first. Go ahead.
First on the agenda is the deviation hearing, which I will let everyone go over. But in front of us is Ron Ventures Capital. And everyone has an application. This is the second application he's given us. He is relocating his business, retaining 47 jobs. He is asking, before he asks for mortgage recording tax in order to close by the end of the year. This application consists of $32,000 request for sales tax, a sales tax incentive, and then also the request is for property tax. And the property tax will continue as it is right now at Indscape. Indscape is now paying yearly $53,014. And this request is for this to continue for 5 years. It's 50% of what the taxes, the property taxes would be. So basically that's what this this consists of. Besides the 47 retained, there will be 9 jobs. At the last board meeting, Rob White spoke on the project. I think everybody was agreeable with the project, keeping it in Chautauqua County, and this will be, a better fit for him. He's also bought DC Rockport, which consists of 9, some of the 9 that will be retained. And so he hopes to just continue to grow. It's a better fit for him. DC Rockport fits in well. And so we are having a deviation hearing today because the property tax is not the standard 10-year, 50% pilot. So if there are any more questions on the project, take them now or go on. I'll turn over the resolutions to you.
This is technically a deviation, because even though it's the same pilot that's in place now, we're continuing for 5 years, which is technically a deviation from your standard policy. Carol's expressed why we do that. So today is a hearing. So Mr. Chairman, I'd ask if anyone wants to be heard on the topic of the further deviation. And if no one does, there is a resolution approving the deviation. That's the first of the 3 resolutions that are before you today. So the first is the deviation, approving the deviation from your standard UTEP. The second is a secret resolution, because this is all interior renovation. It is a type 2, no further action needs to be taken, no further environmental effects. And the third is we've filed it as an amendment resolution, because pursuant to the resolution that the board passed in December, Ron Ventures stepped into Indscape's shoes. So they are technically now the tenant in Indscape's IDA pilot arrangement. So this would be an amendment to continue that for 5 more years and to add the new sales tax component that Carol mentioned. So those are the 3 resolutions. Mr. Chairman, I ask you to ask if anyone wants to be heard on the deviation. Assuming not, then I think you're ready to vote on the 3 resolutions.
Is there anyone that would like to speak forward towards the deviation? Hearing none, please continue. Well, I can bring the resolutions forward. Okay, first, I failed to recognize our county executive is here. Thank you very much for attending. If you'd like to make a statement at any time, you're welcome to do so.
I'd just like to thank you for the opportunity. Looking forward to working with the board.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion for new business A1. If, Mark, if you could please entertain that motion.
So, Mr. Chairman, resolution A1, number 02-25-20-01, Rom Ventures LLC deviation resolution.
Thank you. Moved by Mark. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Dennis. Any further discussion?
I would just like to add, Chairman, that this pilot is not taking anything away from taxing jurisdiction. This has always been, from the addition of the building they built, so we're not taking anything away, we're just extending what it is. And we contacted the taxing jurisdictions, spoke with them at length, and they were all fine with that. They're excited to get more people in Faulkner to eat down at their restaurants, and so we did all that, so.
Thank you for the clarification. Any other comments? Roll call vote, please. Mike Metzger votes aye. Gary Henry.
Aye.
Mark Odell.
Aye.
Brad Walters.
Aye.
Stephen Thorpe.
Aye.
Dennis Rack.
Aye.
Let the record show that there's 6 votes in the affirmative. Motion carried unanimously. Gary, if you could please move new business A2.
Resolution 02-25-20-02, Ron Ventures LLC, seeker resolution.
Thank you. Motion made by Gary. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Brad. Any further discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes?
it wouldn't be a secret resolution if I didn't say something.
Okay.
Just wanna double check. It's Peter Shagnon in me. No, making sure there's no, it's really no environmental review, just everything, just like you said, right? Just replacement rehab in the resolution, right? So, correct, no actions needed. Okay, thank you. Just wanted that for the record.
No, thank you very much. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please. Mike Metzger votes aye. Gary Henry.
Aye.
Mark Odell.
Aye.
Brad Walters.
Aye.
Stephen Thorpe.
Aye.
Dennis Rack.
Aye.
Let the record show 6 votes in the affirmative. Motion carried unanimously. Now move over to Dennis, if you could please move new business A3.
Resolution 02-20-03, Ron Venture LLC amendment resolution.
Thank you. Motion moved by Dennis. Do I have a second? Second by Brad. Any further discussion?
I would just like to say that, and this would be of interest to our guests today, that Rob, typically roll forming parts for solar panels, industrial applications, but the fastest growing part of his business is architectural. Rob has found dies from 80 years old that are made out of wood, where they were rolling molding out of brass, out of copper, and very high margin and lots of orders. So I think there will be a good marriage to hook them up with our guests at some point, because that is the fastest growing portion of the business, is the architectural role.
Good point.
That's a good point. Yeah. Okay, any further discussion? Roll call vote, please. Mike Metzger votes aye. Gary Henry.
Aye.
Mark Odell.
Aye.
Brad Walters.
Aye.
Stephen Thorpe.
Aye.
Dennis Rack.
Aye.
Let the record show 6 votes in the affirmative. Motion carried unanimously. Now we got a perfect segue, as Rich said, into both Faulkner lunch business and architectural design. And I'll ask Linda and Lauren to present new business B.
Thank you. Morning. I'm gonna pass around on each side a photograph of Arctura's products. So, the IDA has been working with Arctura for about 7 months on their plans to expand to the East Coast. Back in August, Chris Cavazzi and Rob Killian, 2 of the 3 founders, first came to meet with the IDA to discuss their plans and to tour the Accurite Heidenheim facility, which has been vacant since October 2018, following Accurite's decision to consolidate their operation to Heidenheim's North American headquarters, located in Schaumburg, Illinois, and Austria. I recently received Arctura's application for tax incentives for their $7.3 million project to purchase the facility and equipment, which I'm requesting the board's authorization and execution of a preliminary agreement to include real property tax abatement deviation, sales and use tax exemptions, and a mortgage reporting tax exemption. Nolan, would you like to comment on the preliminary agreement?
Preliminary agreement is actually an attachment to the preliminary resolution, so it's only one step needed by the board. But the preliminary resolution authorizes the execution of the preliminary agreement between the IDA and the applicant, whereby the applicant agrees to indemnify the IDA, pay their fees, but the IDA agrees to process the application, which will include a public hearing, and as Linda mentioned, a possible deviation. Staff is still in communication with the applicant as to what the pilot should be and what's appropriate in the circumstance, but we anticipate that it will be a deviation of some sort from the order. Details to be announced. Again, it's just a preliminary resolution, so just like we did on the prior one, we would come back to the board for final approval once all of that due diligence is done.
Thank you.
Also, following our recommendation, Arctura has applied for incentives through New York State Empire State Development, the Office of Community Renewal, and the Jamestown Board of Public Utilities. We've discussed the project with County Executive PJ Wendell and Ellicott Town Supervisor Pat McLaughlin, who are both enthusiastically supporting the project. I don't know if you wanted to mention anything, PJ?
No, it's just great to see another business coming into that area. Appreciate the efforts you guys are making to it. And economic development is crucial to the sustainability, but the fact that bringing some good jobs and a great new business to an area that was kind of dormant for a couple of months. We're excited. We're very excited.
So 2 of the 3 partners are here with us today. They've traveled in from California, are representing Arctura on the project. I'd like to introduce Chris Cavazzi, CEO, and Kevin Kane. And if you guys want to share a little history and talk about the project, we appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak as well. We're excited, and since we all met in college in upstate New York, it's fun to be back. I'm from Maine, so I feel very comfortable here. We've been running Arctura and founding it since about 2008. And at a point when it was just us actually making a lot of the products ourselves. And so I think we were sort of founded with the guiding principles of making beautiful things out of the integration of technology, design, and pushing manufacturing systems, being able to offer something that's very unique to the architectural space, given our background of architecture. So in 12 years, a lot has happened. Been very nimble and really listened to the market itself, which has allowed us to grow, but also leveraging a lot of some of our ethos and guiding principles of technology has really catapulted us to where we are today, which is, at least in LA, over 120. We've been projects not only nationwide but worldwide. So we have a big sales network that works with architects and design firms across the world. That's a summary of who we are. We're happy to also give any questions as well.
Sure, yeah. I want to talk specifically about why we're interested in this coast, why we're interested in this location. Over the years, as we started in California, as our main customer base has been That said, we've expanded greatly. We now have a facility in Rotterdam as well, and so it's become international. And at this point in the US, more than half of our customers are on the East Coast. So for the last year and a bit, we've been searching for a location on the East Coast, and we've been thrilled to find Jamestown, Chautauqua County. And there are a lot of synergies here, as Rich was talking about. There are some other architectural companies, a ton of sheet metal, and we're half of our business is sheet metal, and the other half is acoustic, and all high-tech manufacturing jobs. Everything we have is controlled by a computer, integrated with the technology that we have on the design side, so it's a flow from what our designers are doing straight through the manufacturing floor. So in terms of the East Coast specifically, obviously, with such a concentration of customers, lead time in our industry is key. And so this facility is located terrifically from that perspective. So it's have to cut down our lead time to our customers and also to have more inventory. So those are our main drivers here. And in terms of the facility, staffing, we're right now projecting 50 jobs in the first 2 or 3 years, and moving on from there. Like I said, all high-tech manufacturing jobs. And also another component of what we do is training. That's been a key thing in Los Angeles in terms of workforce development, and that's something that we will bring here as well.
And something to mention too is the connection because of technology between this facility and LA. So we'll be working very tightly through video conferencing, constant communication through the computers and some phone calls and visits. But I think being able to be that connected to that LA facility with all the training that we have in LA, with all the people in the departments. So
Thank you.
Could you maybe comment on the photo that I sent around about your products that are in the photo?
This looks like my office. It doesn't seem. Yeah.
Those are old in this yellow.
So a lot of what you're seeing specifically there is sheet metal, it's fiber sheet metal. But I think what's unique is that we've been able to leverage a lot of our design background to develop systems that look very different, very unique, particularly attractive to tech clients, major corporations, mostly in commercial spaces. But we're able to do it in such an efficient way, leveraging a lot of standard manufacturing, let's say, guidelines and rules for efficiency to create very modular systems that don't look modular. So that's essentially one module made up of 42 pieces that are unique, that creates an entire unity. So able to do that in very different spaces to make it look like a custom application, whereas it's actually just another product.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Yeah. Extremely impressive. And we're the ones who depend on you for that.
We appreciate that.
Please complete.
I think if we don't have any other questions, we're ready to go.
Just your customer base is primarily.
We have essentially 3 customers. The first customer being the designers and architects who we work with who actually specify us. Then the actual subcontractors and contractors that purchase from us. So we work with them in terms of coordination and ultimately supply to the contracting industry. And then the end users, which obviously by the aesthetic of the product are very interested in working with us.
If you could talk about, since we do have an employee base in Chautauqua County, some of the jobs that you anticipate having at this facility?
So it's a range. We have obviously management staff. We have a range of production staff from the high-end CNC, to assembly folks. So some we will probably find, some people that might have experience in a particular, say, the laser cutter, those kind of things. But, as I said before, in that range of jobs, we're fully prepared to do the training to build up the workforce where we don't have an exact thing.
But I think the history of attention to detail and craftsmanship in the area is definitely incredible for us.
One thing I'd like to add, we're excited to have you, and where you're going is not too far from where my company is. And but we're excited about that. We're excited about Ron Ventures, but there's only so much space to taste the pizza. And it's, we've been there for 200 years. So, like, our employees really feel like they deserve first in line. So I'm just putting that out there, so.
Once you taste the pizza, they need
An expansion.
Put that in next one.
Probably a mile from.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Close by.
But I have a question, if I could. We talked with another business locally that was looking at laser cutting. Is that something, what's the thickness that you're able to cut? And is that something that potentially, this group has been outsourcing as far away as Corey, Pennsylvania, probably about 60 miles away. Is this something that you would maybe entertain, once you're up and established of, some
Working with local.
working with local? Yeah, it's another manufacturer very close to where you guys are, but, they're fighting a need and they have a void right now. So, potentially it's one of those opportunities. That's something you guys would, entertain down the road, or is your, laser machine very specific to what you do?
No, I think by definition, lasers are probably the most flexible tools that we have. So that certainly could be an opportunity. I think some of the people we're targeting would have a lights out capability. So we would probably have, at least to start, a little bit more capability than we do. So there could be an opportunity if there were other companies who are interested.
Will come up, absolutely. To Dennis's point, can you talk a little bit about the end user, library, airports? What other type of buildings have you installed here?
Sure. Actually, we just talking with Michael and Linda outside. We went to Cleveland and we did the Cleveland Convention Center. So we did about 110,000 square feet of custom ceilings for the convention center. Years ago, 8 months ago, maybe. Never constructed that. But mostly commercial spaces, a little bit of civic, some retail, but mostly corporate office buildings, airports, convention centers. We have a lot of work in New York City in terms of a lot of the TI renovations that they do for the corporations that are moving in and around. Chicago's a very big market for us as well. We've actually put a lot of product into architectural offices where they can show clients and work with us. But really, I don't think we're confined to one space. I think the corporate office generally, I think, is always looking for something unique and tell their own story. So that's sort of been a natural gravitation towards us and allowed us to build all different types of programs.
Thank you.
Yeah.
As this press sign, you're entitled for your approach.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
So we are looking to kick off, I think, in April or May this year, I believe.
Great. Anyone else? Any other questions? Yes.
Just comment, Mr. Chairman, thank you so much, Chris, Kevin, thank you so much for the narrative and background, and that's exactly where I was gonna go with supply chain, where your outlet markets are, but I wanna thank you, have choices to make in the market and where you're located. I think you're gonna find that in Chicago County, especially in our work going from workforce development from the grade school level right up through the MCI Institute of JCC and others can help you grow. Easy to do business with, so thank you for being here.
A comment, not a question, but, I think I'm stating the obvious by saying how thrilled we all are to have you here. in Chautauqua County, which is very Maine-like, so I think it's good. And the fact that you're back in New York, right, RPI,
We're excited.
you're back home. And this is, I'm so thrilled that you're here, and I think you're gonna find that we've got a lot of good providers, service providers, that we have great customer service as we work through this process, and I'm just thrilled to have you here, so thank you for coming.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Any more questions, Linda? Or can we move to the resolution? Thank you again, gentlemen, for coming. I'd like, Brad, if you could please move new business B2.
02-25-20-04, Tura LLC preliminary resolution.
Okay, I think unfortunately we have to do the one above it first, please.
Mr. Chairman, I don't think it's a separate resolution, that is an attachment to the preliminary resolution. So I think that by approving the resolution, you're authorizing the preliminary agreement.
Perfect. Thank you. You're way ahead of me.
Good job, Ray.
Yes.
I don't have some.
Yeah.
I will second that for you.
Okay, motion made by Brad, seconded by Dennis. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll have a roll call vote, please. Mike Metzger votes aye. Gary Henry.
Aye.
Mark Odell.
Aye.
Brad Walters.
Aye.
Stephen Dorff.
Aye.
Dennis Rack.
Aye.
Let the record show there's 6 votes in the affirmative. Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, and thank you very much. Okay, now we've gone from the exciting to the sublime. Moving to the executive director's report. Mark, please.
So I think I dumped a lot on you at the last meeting with my report. I think it was over half an hour long, but so I'm not gonna say a lot. The only thing I wanted to do today was congratulate Dennis Rack, who was recently nominated to the chair of the Welch's Board. So congratulations.
Well, we'll see how it goes.
Great jelly for all.
Yeah. Great jelly, great juice. It's a challenging environment. People actually, younger people now actually associate Welch's more with the gummies, the fruit snacks, than they do with grape juice. And, growing up in that, and consumers are just very different than they were, and that's our challenge, is to, steer the business to today's consumers as opposed to what we always wanted to do in the past. So we'll see what happens.
I can tell you you're a staple in my house. I do not do anything unless we have 2 boxes on hand. Family side, that's reserved. And I dabble in it every day when I get home, yeah, so
That's it.
That's it. Unless anybody has any questions.
Now we move back to the exciting with the treasurer's report.
Well, we will not have any financial reports today because we're only 1 month into the year. But Kayla's going to talk about the audit committee minutes, and Mike's going to fill in with that discussion, and that's all I have. Kayla, please.
So our friends from the 3rd floor came down to begin their audit, the 2019 audit, starting Monday, February 10th, and they worked throughout that week. Justin Eisenman and Dave DeTiana did their audit procedures, went over their audit procedures like usual. Not much new for 2019. There was one thing, new accounting standards for the governmental fiduciary reporting in regards to our 457 and 401A retirement funds. So they just need to look through that and ask any necessary questions, should there be any. We went over new items, which included the formation of the Partnership for Economic Growth and the Chattacoin River Project, but both really late in 2019, so not much to look through there. The auditors are finished with their in-office work, and we will continue to wrap up this week and potentially next week. I have a lot to do on my plate. And they will present at the March 17th board meeting. That's it.
No, that's perfect. No?
I would just like to add that I felt very lonely because the auditors didn't come and ask me one darn thing. Got everything from Kayla, and Kayla did a fabulous job, so thank you, Kayla. Good job.
Oh, we're not done yet.
Great job, as always. Now what I'd like to do is entertain a motion, please, to move to executive session for the purpose of a financial and credit history of certain companies and the potential acquisition and use of real property.
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mark. Seconded by Gary. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are now in executive session. Thank you very much again
Thank you all.
for also coming here personally. That means a lot.